Hey everyone, I am here with my dad, who is also a grandpa. He has recently watched a full playthrough of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and I wanted to see what his thoughts on the game were. So, this is my dad. How are you doing, Dad?
Pretty good, son.
Good,
How are
good.
you? Yep,
Doing
all
all
good.
right. Doing all right. So the first thing I want to do is ask you about just video games in general. What do you think about video games? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think they're stupid? Do you think they're good? What do you think?
Honestly, I am not a video type of guy. When I grew up, Atari just came out, and I like to tell the story that when Atari came out, I was out with my friends on my bike and such, and somebody had the game. We went over to their house in the living room. It was a small room, and I don't know, it was like 8 or 10 kids gathered around, and they're playing this pong back and forth. And I watched it for like 20 minutes. I probably played it a little bit,
And it was
couldn't
a home
maybe
console?
coordinate.
It was like a home
It was
console
a home
Atari?
concert. Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I couldn't quite get the bong to come back.
Yeah.
So I've never really had. I think maybe I played Desert Storm or not. Was it Desert Storm?
Yeah,
Desert
on the
Strike?
Sega Genesis for like a couple of
Yeah.
minutes maybe.
No, no, no. That I actually enjoyed. That one, a friend loaned that for me from work, and I played on your console when we were younger. I guess the Genesis.
Oh,
And,
you
I
liked
enjoyed
it?
that one.
I thought you didn't care
I
about
liked
it.
it. No, I liked it. In fact, the guy had to say to me, "Are you done with that game? Bring it back." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I
Oh.
should buy that."
Oh, I thought you
But
didn't
that's
care
the
about
one
it.
game. No, I kind of enjoyed that one.
Oh,
That one was
maybe we
fun.
should have got it. That game's kind of cool. I vaguely remember like seeing that. Again, I don't know if it was you or someone else had it for Super Nintendo or whatnot, but I do remember that
Yeah.
game. That would have been cool to
But
have.
again, overall, I'm not really into video games. It's not my style. I don't even really watch too many movies.
Yeah, you're
So
not
I'll leave you
you're not an
that.
entertainment kind of person. The most you do, I think, is
No,
books, and even then,
and sports.
are those like fictional books or mostly nonfiction?
I like the classics. I like the classics. I just read Robinson Crusoe, Grapes of Wrath,
Cool.
um, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, People We Meet on Vacation, current things. But
Okay, that's cool.
so be it. Yep.
So you think the last game you might have played and enjoyed was this Desert Storm game on the Sega Genesis back in like
Yes.
95, we'll say.
Yes.
94, 95.
Yes.
Okay, and it is currently 2026, so video games have come a super long way.
Sure.
It doesn't really leave much to your imagination now, right? It's just this is the story,
Yeah.
these are the graphics, and
Yes.
whole
Yes.
different
Yes.
ball game. All right.
Agreed.
So getting into the game, did you understand the story, or was it really convoluted, hard to follow?
Well, let me just tell you, I didn't play it. I watched someone play it, and it was enjoyable. I enjoyed the camaraderie. I'm not going to tell you his name. We're just going to call him Soda. But I enjoyed the enjoyment that this person got out of playing the game. I did enjoy the story. I enjoyed the graphics. I enjoyed the adventure or the mission that this snake was on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty
Naked
cool.
Snake.
Uh,
He was Naked Snake,
yeah.
right?
Okay, Naked Snake. But they mostly just call him Snake, as
Yeah,
I
they call him
remember. I don't remember
Snake,
Naked
but
Snake.
but they call him
Yeah.
his full name is Naked Snake or his code name is Naked
Yeah.
Snake.
Yeah.
All right, so
So overall, I would say it was enjoyable, and I just enjoyed the fellowship of watching this person play it, and me sitting there with them, and we did it over. I think it was like 3 nights.
yeah, I think
So
Soda's really good at the game, right? They probably just like sped through it.
yeah,
They were probably telling you like, all right, get ready for this part. This part's really cool.
a little bit. Just let it play out
Was
for a
Soda
bit. I mean,
explaining
I
things or not really?
no, it was a lot of me maybe asking questions and Soda maybe telling me like this is good. Like for instance, when they blew up I don't even know what the name of the thing was, but when they were blowing up, getting ready to blow up
The
with the
Shagohod,
C3,
the big machine,
yes,
the Shagohod.
yes, he said to me, "Hold on, I'm going to put," because I said to him, "Okay, that's enough. We watched the end another time." So he says, "All right, I'm going to stop here at putting 3 of the C3s. If I put the 4th one in, it just kicks in, and I guess it goes through a lot to catch up on." So
Yeah,
we stopped it there, and then
and
we
he was
resumed it
right,
with the
right?
4th
There's
one.
like so much more.
Yeah. Oh, it was tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I
Yeah.
figure let's I guess bring it back. We don't have to go through every single thing that happened in the game, but it does
Right.
start off with Snake jumping out of the plane and he's talking to Zero and Zero's telling him, "All right, this is the Virtuous Mission." And he has to capture or retake Sokolov. And you think that they shouldn't have um, got him back, right? You think. What do you think?
Well, let me tell you what I think. First of all, I'm sitting down, I'm watching this thing. It takes place in this airplane, like you say. There's this guy sitting there, very quiet, while the people around him are flying the plane and getting ready. And then they open up the back door, and this guy just like falls out. So it's all new to me. And then when he lands and he starts making radio contact, then they explain his mission. And my first impression was why did they wait until they're on he landed, and what if he gets intercepted? What if the radio signals get intercepted? And they're explaining it now. This should have all been done in the States before they even left the States or whatever army base, whatever they flew out of. So I'm
Okay,
thinking like, what? They
so
tell them now.
so I
So
think you're kind of right. That like when he lands, they start to tell him like, okay, this is a solo infiltration mission. You have to get Sokolov. He's over here, yada yada. But Snake already knows what the mission is. He's already told. In a flashback, there's like a couple minute flashback where he's talking with Zero, and Zero's telling him, he's like, listen, we're gonna send you into Russia. We want you to get Sokolov. We gave up Sokolov so that we would
yeah,
stop the
yeah.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, hold on a second with that,
Yeah.
because that's another thing as well. I was alive during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I don't remember it. I was too young to remember it. But the way they explained it was that the bargaining chip to really, there was something that was done publicly, and then there was something that was done. This scientist was returned that was kind of covert.
Yeah, in
And
Metal Gear Solid.
my initial thinking is wait a minute, if the Russians wanted this scientist, then why didn't we just infect him somehow with like rabies or smallpox, so that within 2 weeks, once he's there and they start moving the missiles, boom, he dies and he's gone. So,
Yeah.
but Soda explained that the United States wants the technology that this guy's going to develop, and therefore he's so valuable. And I don't know. I guess for the video game that makes sense, but I thought the guy's expendable.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, in
give him a
reality,
poison pill.
yeah, in reality, you're probably right, but there's got to be a game, and the idea is
Sure.
that we now know as you play the game is that he's making this Shagohod, and we want to be
Yeah.
able to make something like that. And the Russians are
Right.
using him to develop this so that they could use this as a weapon
Yeah.
to nuke America from all the way over there. So that's the reason why we want to take him back. Again, I kind of explained outside of this video. I was talking about how he's kind of like an Einstein character. If they had
Yeah. But
Einstein, they're going to develop a weapon of mass destruction, but we want Einstein. We could just knock him off, but we would prefer if we just had him instead of, the enemies having him.
sure. But let's clarify. He wasn't creating a weapon that was going to be able to bomb us. They already had that. They already had that kind of weapons. This was more of a tactical nuclear weapon, meaning that it would be used on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's true, and they would be able to shoot it
Yeah.
from Russia to here instead of having to set up missiles in Cuba or whatnot.
Oh, really? Is that what they were saying? I didn't realize that. I
Well,
didn't catch that part because when they say tactical nukes, that means during the battle because they already have missiles aimed at us that'll be intercontinental ballistic missiles that would be so much quicker and such. But again, maybe we're getting off subject here. I thought it was more of just the weapon for the battlefield.
yeah, okay. I might be mistaken too, to be honest with you. I always thought that it was so they could like shoot a nuke with that thing to us. I didn't
Nah,
think
the
that they
Cold
could shoot it
War.
like that.
We had thousands. We both sides had thousands and tens of thousands of weapons pointed at each other. We
Yeah,
didn't
that's
need
true.
something else.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, so
Yes. Yeah.
he lands. He's supposed to get Sokolov. He runs into the boss. Well,
Yeah.
first he finds Sokolov. He's bringing him back so that they could extract. That's all the mission was supposed to be. You're supposed to get Sokolov, get out of there. No one knows you're there, and that's the end of it. But then he runs into the
Yeah.
boss, who is
Yeah.
Snake's mentor, and he's like, um, he really respects the boss. And she explains, I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. And he goes off with Colonel Volgin, who's the big Russian bad guy, and the Cobra unit,
Yep.
who are these like superhuman villains.
Yep.
And Volgin winds up launching a nuke at Russia. And
Right.
then that causes an even bigger issue because now
Sure.
Russia's like, hey, the U.S. just nuked us. We have to
Yep.
retaliate. And we're like, no,
Yeah.
that wasn't us.
Yeah.
That
It was your
was
guy.
yeah, it was your guy. So we have to send Snake back in there so that he can destroy the Shagohod, defeat the Cobra unit, and defeat the boss who defected. Now here's the
Yeah.
thing: do you
Right.
know why the boss defected during the Virtuous mission?
She was a double agent.
Yeah, but you know what she was doing as a double agent for America?
No, I didn't understand that part.
She was tasked with getting the Philosopher's Legacy. Do you remember that? The Philosopher's
Oh, that's
Legacy?
right. Right.
So
Yeah. 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 You're
so
right. You're
Snake
right.
is in there
There
to
was
get
that
Sokolov.
was another thing. That was another thing. There was a lot of double agents. There was Adam gets revealed at the end as being a double agent.
Yeah.
Eve, who was disguised as Tatiana, was a double agent.
She was a triple
So,
agent.
well, it got me thinking that how come only the U.S. has double agents? There must be also double agents on their side, like maybe Zero is a
That's
double
true.
agent.
There could be.
Yeah, there's got to be other double agents. Maybe even the scientists could be
Yeah.
double agents.
You don't know. That's the thing
So
with Metal Gear games is that you go in thinking that it's this pretty straightforward thing, and then like
yeah,
if you were to play it again or watch it again, you'd be like, "Oh my god. So right here is where this person's doing this and this is like what's really happening in the game."
right,
Because
right.
again, the boss was after the Philosopher's Legacy, which is $100 billion, which I looked it up. That translates to about $1 trillion in today's money. So if you've got
Right.
this money, you could fund whatever it is you want to fund with this money.
Honestly, I didn't quite understand that. To me, that was a minor part of it. These philosophers' legacy, whatever they were, whoever they were, whatever it was, I don't know, the Illuminati and such. I didn't quite understand that part of it.
Yeah, so the philosophers are kind of like this emerging Illuminati group where
Yeah.
they're trying to take over the world without anyone knowing that they're in charge. And in fact, it's
Mm.
revealed that the boss and Eva are both children of some philosophers. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yep. The
Yes.
boss. I didn't realize that Eve was a child. I didn't get that part of it. I kind of thought that because the boss talked about a young boy that she had on the battlefield during World War
World War Two.
II,
Yeah.
and I was thinking that might have been Snake, but they never said that Snake was the boss's. Like it wasn't his mother. And
No.
then I thought maybe it's Adam. Could be the mother. It could be the son.
Well, Adam is Ocelot. He goes by Ocelot, but his real name is
Ocelot,
Adam.
Adam, but they revealed at the very end. I thought at the very end, where they kind of gave the whole wrap up and explanation for everything, clarified a lot for me.
Yeah.
That I understood.
Yeah, at the end, they just start explaining all these things, and you go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
But here's another thing I couldn't understand too: is at the beginning when he had his mission, it was like leave nothing there, no trace, and don't kill anyone.
Yep.
Don't kill anyone. So I said to Soder, I said, like, what do you mean don't kill anyone? It's a video game. It's all about killing these people.
Yeah.
So then he killed some people as well, but then he realized when he did that, he made noise, and therefore other soldiers came, and he had to kill more of them. So it was better just to knock them out. Okay, fine.
Yeah, in fact, it's better not to even alert them to your presence at all. You don't knock them out or anything. If you could,
don't even engage them.
Yeah, that's what
I really like
the
do. Other scientist too, the drunk scientist.
Oh,
where he
Granin.
Comes to the
I think
room.
his name is Granin.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him.
Do you understand him? He was a Russian who was also working on something like the Shagohod, and he's drunk because he's like, no one cares about me. I'm making weapons, and my weapons are actually better than Sokolov. So why aren't they all coming?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he actually made weapons that were used to win the war or used in war. So he actually was successful. He was a hero, but he got kind of pushed over.
Yeah.
But what I found fascinating was that he had these 4 medals on his suit jacket, and he's not wearing a uniform. He's just wearing a suit jacket. And I thought it was a little funny that, well, every morning when he changes his suit, he has to take those off and put them on the next suit jacket, or he just wears the same suit jacket for like a week or so until he changes it. But I just picked up on little things like that. I thought it was comical.
Yeah, again, it's video game logic. They have to show you that he's important. He's got these medals and whatnot, just being a guy.
Yeah.
But
I enjoyed it.
But so Granin was saying that the Shagohod is a stupid idea because to use the Shagohod, you need like a runway. You need like a plane runway to shoot the nuke. And Granin says,
well, hold on again.
Yeah.
I was going to say again, that logic doesn't make sense to me. And what I was explaining to Soda is that if you stand still and you shoot your pistol or rifle, the bullet travels at a certain speed. But if you get in an automobile and you travel at 100 miles an hour or 200 miles an hour and you shoot the rifle or the pistol, are you telling me that the bullet's going to go faster because you're going faster? I don't get that.
I don't know. I'm not a physicist. I don't know. That's something I thought too. I was like, is that true? Or?
I think it's just going to go out.
I don't know. That's a good question. I got to look that up to see if that even makes sense, but
doesn't make sense.
Again, video game logic, you don't question it. It is just what it is, right?
I get it. Yeah, it was good.
But anyway, going back to Granin, he's explaining that the Shagohod is a stupid idea because you have to, go down a runway to launch this nuke. And he has a better idea to make a bipedal weapon, which means that it's got 2 legs so that it's able to walk on different terrain.
Right.
Sure. And he says that he's going to give these blueprints to a scientific counterpart in the West, in the U.S., so that he could develop his weapons. And he even says that if he were to name this thing something, he would name it a Metal Gear. Did you catch that?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think so. At the time, I quit that.
Yeah. So that's kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge for what's the future's going to happen. Because the game's called Metal Gear. And you're probably why is it called Metal Gear?
No clue. Until he mentioned it, then I got it.
And now he's talking about, I would make a different weapon called a Metal Gear that would have 2 legs that would be able to walk around, and I'm going to send it to America so that America could develop this weapon.
Yeah.
So
I say don't stop drinking and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, did you have a favorite character or?
Well, I mean, I would probably be more partial to
Probably Eva. Is that what you're getting
Tatiana and
at?
Eve.
Tatiana and Eva.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I
entire
mean, that was
game,
fun to watch.
she's seducing Snake, and Snake doesn't reciprocate at all, right? He's like really
Yeah,
embarrassed
Snood's
and
like,
shy.
what? Asleep.
Yeah.
Asleep.
Yeah. And she's confused. She's like, no one's ever resisted me before. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. I did question the weather. I thought in the distance it was like snow on the mountains, but, hey, there could be snow in the mountains and still be 90 degrees on the ground. But, like, he walked around sometimes without his shirt on, and, like, she'd be stripping down. I'm thinking, like, how cold is it out there? Or how warm is it? But again, that's just my questioning things.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining. It was fun. Let's see.
So you
I
liked
also
Eva.
thought Ocelot. He showed very childish
Yeah, with the guns.
behaviors.
He's flipping the guns around.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the super villain. Like, just shoot the guy and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, Snake had a lot of opportunities to kill Ocelot, but he didn't. And in fact, it came to the point where I think he was even telling other people, like, don't kill him. He's a kid.
Yeah.
Like he liked Ocelot, kind of, right?
Well, then when they were in the plane at the end and he fired the blank,
Yeah.
and then you listen shortly after that, and a few, like 10 minutes later, you're finding out that he was the original Adam. You're like, oh, that's why it was a blank. That's
Yeah.
why all of that happened. So yeah, it was very revealing. It was. I mean, I enjoyed the story, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Ocelot was a double agent. He was
Yeah.
a spy. They were all spies on the Russian side.
What did you mean by Tatiana was a triple agent? How was she
Yeah.
a triple agent?
So
Oh, that's right. She was taking the Philosopher's Legacy to the Chinese.
yeah, so at the very end, she reveals she's actually working for the Chinese, and her mission was to
Yeah,
get the Philosopher's Legacy for the Chinese.
right.
But what she doesn't know is that Ocelot had beat her to the punch, and Ocelot was the one who actually got the legacy at the very end. And he's talking to
Yeah,
like the CIA, and he's like, "I got the real Philosopher's Legacy," and the people in China are probably like losing their minds, being like, "Oh
right,
man, we
right,
thought
right,
we had
right.
the legacy."
Yeah.
So that's another thing is that
So,
this game came out in 2004, and then it was
yeah.
remade and re-released in 2025, I think.
Okay.
So this game has been out for decades now. What you saw was like exactly how the game was, only it looks and sounds better now.
Right, right, right,
Let me
right,
ask you this: did you have a favorite part, favorite scene, something that was weird or cool?
right. Let's see. Well, I mean, the effects were all good. I did already predict that with the C3. And that's the other thing too. To me, the C3, when they put that C3 on that Stegosaurus or whatever the heck it's called,
The
and they put the
Shagohod?
four of them on there, the Shagahide, how the hell did that thing survive 4 doses of of C3 and
Yeah.
not get blown to pieces? And then when it did get, and then he's shooting. What was he shooting? He was shooting those like those air.
Uh,
Wasn't bullets, but it was, what are those things
Rockets?
called? The
Rockets?
rockets, like the air rockets.
Yeah.
He had unlimited supply, so it was just boom, 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 and it slowed it down, and I could see the life of it going down. And then, as if it was, I don't know what the equivalent is. If it's Superman, but it turns into the guy inside, the electric guy.
Volgan, yeah.
He turns into like half machine. He reaches in with his hands,
Oh yeah, he like
and he's
pulls out.
walking with the thing. And I'm like, and I said to Soda, I says, don't tell me this guy is going to somehow like become the power for this machine. And sure enough, he does. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That was good.
that's
I
funny.
also like the fight. I also like the fight on the plane with Tatiana's flying it, and
With
Snake just like
with
Snake
Ocelot?
just fought with Boss, He was fighting with Boss, and Boss gets killed, and now they're on the plane. They're flying home, and Ocelot comes. Oh, here's another thing I said. Those little flying shopping carts that those soldiers had, those were brilliant. Whoever invented that, whatever scientist invented those, that's the scientist that we should get. Forget that Stegosaurus thing. Whoever invented those little flying things, that was amazing. That's the technology we need.
Yeah, that is some, like, I guess Kojima was like, we got to have some cool stuff in here, even though it didn't exist, nor does it exist now. They just kind of have these flying carts.
That's what I'm saying. Who did that? Who invented those? Those came out during the battle at the end.
Yeah.
Those things were awesome. Now, they weren't very, they should have been with some sort of like weaponizer, titanium, so that they would deflect the bullets or something to that regard. But I thought that was, to me, that was like the star of the show when I started the video game.
Yeah, those were pretty cool.
Things. That was awesome. If we had those, fly under the radar, move your troops quickly.
Yeah, that'd be super
fold
cool.
them up, leave me like, yeah, super cool.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you, what did you think about the ladder? Do you remember the ladder?
Yes, the ladder. As soon as that happened, he climbed in, he got in the ladder, he started coming up, and I didn't know he was going to go up, maybe 3 stories, 2, 3 stories, 4 stories. The guy went up something like 40, 50 stories, never even huffing and puffing, didn't slow down. And I was like, what the hell is this?
That catches... I remember playing that for the first time, and that caught me like completely off guard, where you're just climbing a ladder for like 5 minutes, and you're just like, how high is this ladder? And it just
what
isn't
is
ending.
This building, man?
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is for a person to climb a ladder?
Well,
It's not easy.
I would be terrified. I couldn't do something like that's way too high of a ladder. I would freak out. Like
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Not only that, but you got to slow down. I mean, you climb. Let's say there's a fireman who's got to go up to the 4th floor, and you're climbing the ladder. He had gear on and such.
Yeah, you're exhausted.
And you're exhausted.
Yeah.
I forgot about the ladder. The ladder was funny. And I think at one point there was either another ladder he went down or went up a ladder, but it was much, much shorter.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's normal ladders, but that's like the ladder. Whenever you play this game, it's like, oh, did you get to the ladder? What'd you think of the ladder?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's funny. What did
and then
you...
there was dogs. There was Doberman pinches.
What is that?
There was dogs there, too, at one point, when you had to get into... Oh, the other thing I felt, and this might be just all video games, is like, okay, it's 1964, this is taking place. They're in some sort of a laboratory or some sort of a data center, and I get it, some sort of an army bunker, but why does the walls of the hallways have to be so dilapidated? The paint is peeling, the concrete looks a little... as if it was built in 1910 and they never maintained it. 50 years later, they're still using it and they have never put a coat of paint on it.
Wait, you're talking about the prison or the sewer?
Not the sewer. The sewer, I get the sewer. I'm talking about where
the prison,
the prison, or even that Stegosaurus thing was stored. Anytime
you're just saying all of these places.
Yeah, walking in the hallways, going up and down the stairs, it just looked a little ratty to me. Like, come on, it's got to be
I don't know.
It's a little bit more maintained. Video games.
Well, I don't even think that's video games. It's like, does that even matter? Does it have to look super nice for all these things in the 60s?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you went to, even if you went into your school or something like that, your public school, your public building, you go into... it looks like the bottom of a bridge that's deteriorating. It just looks to me like, hey, where's the infrastructure? You've got to maintain this infrastructure. Like, why is it so crumbling?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
It just gave it. I guess it just gives it more suspense or more double agent stuff. But I don't know. It's like, come on. Let's have some nice buildings here. Walk through nice white
Yeah,
walls, some
where's all the
pictures.
janitors, right? There should be janitors fixing the place up, repair people,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, what about the boss? What did you think about the boss? Did you understand what she was doing during like the real big
Well,
mission, Snake Eater?
um, the boss to me was another thing that was kind of questionable. They build her up to be like Chuck Norris. I mean, she saw she 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 won World War II for the United States
Yeah, yeah,
single-handedly.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, what? And then she sacrificed everything for patriotism and for country
yeah.
and all of that. And I was like, really? Come on.
Well,
Isn't she looking forward to her pension at the end there? And,
well, again, she was the daughter of a philosopher, which is this
yeah, I
secret
get it.
organization. So they
Yeah,
decided that they could use her for a bunch of
yeah.
these different things. Like we could put her on the field and have her fight World War II. They put
So she was a
her,
victim.
yeah, and
She was a victim.
they actually said that she was the first person in space. I think they put her on a rocket into
Oh, yeah,
space where it was
right.
irradiated, so that she just has all this radiation. So she was just completely used, basically.
Yeah, yeah. She was a victim.
Yeah, and
And
then
then she gave her life so that, I mean, the Russians bombed themselves. The
yeah,
guy with all the lightning, he bombed Russia, and he's Russian,
yeah.
and yet she gave her life for that. So
Yeah, there needed to
I was like,
be
all right,
an American fall person. So her mission. So again, first her mission was to defect to get the Philosopher's Legacy, and then once
right,
the nuking happened, they said, "Okay, actually, the boss, you're gonna be killed by Snake, so that we can make
yeah.
Snake a hero. You'll be the villain, and that'll be like the official story for the history books, so that we could get out of
Not
this
a big,
mess."
yeah, not a big fan of the name.
The
Not a big
boss.
fan of boss. The boss. Come on.
Well, the reason they called her the boss is because at the very
Yeah,
end, when Snake is shaking hands with the president and whatnot, they award him a medal and they give
yeah. They
him,
called him the big boss.
yeah, they call him Big Boss. And that
Yeah.
moment is actually, if you had seen Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 and all these other games, do you know that Big Boss is like the super villain of like those games? Like he's the biggest villain?
No,
Yeah,
I only saw the one. I only saw the one, so
so it's
I don't know.
almost like at the end, it's as if you've been following this character, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna
Yeah,
call you Darth Vader," and you're like, "Oh my God, Darth Vader!
yeah.
I was playing as the bad guy."
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
guy.
we've been
Yeah,
playing as the bad guy this whole time. So that was the point of
right.
her being called the boss, so that he could become Big
Yeah,
Boss, who is
big
known
boss.
as the big villain in the
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
So that
Well,
that was a big twist for everyone, but flew over your head because you had no idea who Big Boss is or was or.
and he didn't shake anyone's hand.
Well,
He
yeah, it's
refused
kind
to
of
shake
his
anyone's hand. Yeah,
origin story because they just made him kill the boss. They made her a villain
yeah,
so that he could be a hero.
yeah.
So now he's like, well, you
Right.
guys like used me also. So now he has like
Yeah,
animosity for what they did to him,
yeah,
which kind
yeah,
of turns him into the villain he becomes in the other games.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So she became the scapegoat at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They made her a scapegoat.
which which I didn't like. She
Yeah.
should have been she should have been like Neil Armstrong and put up there as a national hero.
Yeah, that's what they should have done, but they used her instead. So it's supposed to be like, oh,
They
it's a
used
big
her.
tragedy, you know?
She had a kid at least. She's real good. I don't know how old she was.
Yeah, so that's another thing with her is that she gave birth on the
Yeah, she was in
battlefield
great
in
shape.
World War II, and she
Yeah.
like sewed herself up so that she has the shape of a snake like
Oh,
across her
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
body. And
yeah.
they don't tell you who the kid is, but they
All right.
strongly imply who it is. And it's not
Mm.
Snake. It actually is.
It's not Snake.
Huh?
Adam? Is it Adam?
Yeah, it's Ocelot. Ocelot is
Oh,
the child.
yeah. I kind of, but they never told you who it was. I just kind of when it was at the end and they reveal all this, and then Ocelot comes up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Adam." I was like, maybe it's him, the son.
Yeah, he's the
Big
son.
baby, big baby.
Yeah, he
Well, he's
is.
20. He's 20 years old or something.
Yeah, he's really young and he's like green. He doesn't really have too much experience. But here's another thing about Ocelot. Ocelot is a very, very important character in the other games.
Okay.
So seeing him young like this and like really bad at
Mm.
what he's doing, I
Mm.
hypothesize that he's just pretending to be this bumbling idiot. Soda
Mm.
thinks that he actually was just a bumbling idiot, but um, Ocelot, being that he's the son of the boss and the Sorrow, remember the Sorrow, he's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
child of these two. He is
yeah.
like incredibly manipulative. Like at the end, he's the one who got the Philosopher's Legacy. He's the one who won out in the end.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think he was faking. I think he was a bumbling idiot. I don't think he was faking.
I don't know.
I
If you
I don't
were
think
to
he was faking at
watch,
all.
if you were to see these other games, if you saw Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4, you might have a different opinion on Ocelot.
Well, it's 1964, and she probably gave birth in 1944 during World War II. So that means that he's only 20 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
So I think he's a bumbling idiot, and I think he's kind of, childish. And
Yeah, it's totally possible, but again, you
yeah,
can't trust Ocelot. Everything he does is like calculated. Maybe he was an idiot in
yeah,
this game, but I'm telling you, if you saw the other games, you might think differently.
might think differently.
Yeah. All right. What about there are some biblical parallels? Did
So,
you?
so
Yeah.
what I don't understand before you ask me that question, whatever happened to the professor?
Sokolov?
Yeah,
That's a good question. I don't remember. What happened to
I don't
Sokolov?
remember either.
I don't
I don't
know.
remember what happened.
Ask
Did he get
Soda. I don't
killed?
know. I don't remember.
I think I asked that to Soda, like, what happened what happened to him or whatever. I know the other scientist got killed, but
Yeah.
this scientist, what happened to him? Did he get killed? Did he still hiding?
Yeah, because
Like, whoa,
it was only Big Boss and Evo were the ones who escaped, and that was it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. What
that was
happened?
it.
What happened to Sokolov? I don't remember.
But
You know,
yeah, what was it?
this being a YouTube video, people are probably in the comments correcting all of these things that I'm saying and you're saying.
Sure,
I'm sure
that's
they know
fine.
what
That's
happened to
fine.
Sokolov. So if they know
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is, hopefully they'll comment and tell us what happened to Sokolov.
But you can ask me about some other parallels or other storylines or
Yeah.
something.
So did you pick up on the biblical
Oh
parallels?
yeah, oh yeah, Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Adam and
Yeah.
Eve were
Uh
supposed to help Snake,
huh.
and then there's the whole thing where in the Bible the snake tempts Eve to bite from
Mm-hmm.
the apple of knowledge, right? The
Yeah, it was
fruit
the
of
whole apple
knowledge.
there. Yep, yep, yep.
But in this, it was the other way around. It was Eva seduced Snake so that she could get the Philosopher's Legacy.
Well, listen, don't even get me started on that because I think I mentioned to a couple of priests already that I thought that Eve in the Bible gets a bad rap. They blamed the whole original sin and biting the from the forbidden fruit
Yeah.
on Eve, taking it from the snake and giving it to Adam, and Adam's like, "Hey, don't blame me. She gave it to me." It's like, come on, that's
Yeah, right? That is pretty funny.
yeah. I mean, and now ever since then, women were always subjective to men.
True.
So
But here's the thing, too, is that that's all like the very beginning of the Bible. That's the book of Genesis, just like
sure.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is the beginning of, it's the prequel of all prequels. This is the very beginning that started everything
Mm-hmm.
in the whole series.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. And
I always felt bad when Soda would shoot one of the guards, and I was thinking like, hey, maybe the guy is getting off his shift in like 30 minutes, and he's going to go home to his wife and kids, and boom, you just killed the guy.
yeah, he's
I felt so bad for the guy.
he's just immediately popped. And and here's another bit of a biblical parallel is that, like you said, the whole thing with the Garden of Eden is about original sin and how, we're all born with original sin because of what happened in Genesis. That's actually kind
Right.
of the same thing with Metal Gear Solid, where I know Soda's been kind of saying this where it's like Big Boss is like the dad, Eva is like the
Yeah.
mom. In the other games, you
Right.
play as the next generation, and because of the things that the parents did, now the kids have to
Mm,
deal with the world that the parents set up for them. So they're born with an original
mm,
sin that they have
yeah.
to, you know, deal with because of what the fathers did.
Do they also like parallel like Cain and Abel?
That's a good question. I didn't think of that. That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Do they turn on each other?
Well, if you
Are
stick
they
around and
jealous
you
of
keep
each other?
watching, yeah. So there's a little bit of like
Yeah.
biblical stuff going on here, and again, you'll if you stick with the franchise, you'll find that there's a lot of deification of the boss, deification of Big Boss,
Yeah.
because the world was in peril, and these things happened that are all top secret, and people put them on this huge pedestal. Um, so it's
Well, here's a question for you. The game did talk about conspiracy, like even beginning with the Cuban Missile Crisis. The public knows what the public knows, but behind the scenes, there was more that was going on, and that just feeds more things that happen and happen and happen that the public is unaware of. And the philosophers' legacy, the alliances. So, does the video game feed into people who like those conspiracies, or are those conspiracies like true? Or are we just naive to
well.
think, hey, what we see out there is what's happening, but there really is,
So that's another kind of
bigger things?
funny thing is that I'm convinced that if you put me in a room with a conspiracy theorist and I just start telling
Yeah,
them like things that happened in Metal Gear but play it off like they actually happened as real conspiracies, I'm pretty sure
they'll
I could
believe it.
convince a conspiracy theorist to be like, "Oh my god, he's right. If like
Right.
listen to all this stuff, that's crazy."
Yeah.
But it's also kind of
Like
scary like what do we not know that has happened in the world that
yeah.
was strings being pulled.
UFOs.
Yeah, like do these things happen
The
or is this all just us being paranoid, you know?
the JFK assassination. Is Elvis still alive?
Yeah.
Did what was the other thing? Did we really land on the moon?
Yeah. Is the earth flat? Is it
Is
round?
the Earth really flat?
Is it a
Yeah,
triangle? Is it shaped
yeah,
like Super Mario?
yeah.
Let me ask you this
So,
too, because when you started watching this, you were calling it like Rambo, right? It reminded you of Rambo.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You still think
Makes me want to
it's?
go back and watch them.
Do you think it's still a lot like Rambo?
Well, some of the, well, yeah. I mean, there's also a lot of that in there. I thought. I mean, Snake was modeled to me like Rambo. Took on the army, took on all of this, survived,
Yeah,
jumped off the cliff into the water.
but that's like pretty much all the similarities are is that it's one guy up against like this
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah. It's
enemy
more so.
army, and
Sure.
that's like all it is, like compared to Rambo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, um, Rambo was a civilian, and this one here, the guy's in the army, so he's on a mission. So that's clearly different.
Yeah,
It's not like they were harassing him.
yeah.
But I did see some parallels with Batman and Robin. Like they got him, all of them, the boss, Ocelot, um, the electric guy. I forget his
Volgan,
name.
Colonel Volgan.
Vulcan, and they beat them all up and all that, and they're trying to torture him to get information. Then they put him in jail. It's like, don't stop torturing the guy. If you want to get information, just keep at it. Have guards there. Keep waterboarding him or whatever you're going to do to him. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah, yeah,
proponent of that. I'm not condoning that. But I'm saying do what you got to do, and then when you get what you can get and you can't get any more, then you just dispose of them. But to put him in jail and let the guy escape, it's like Batman and Robin. They put him on the log and they're going to cut him in half, and then we're going to leave the room now, and we'll be back in an hour. We're going to have lunch, and you'll be chopped up with the saw.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like James
okay.
Bond with the lasers. They just kind of like leave him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did they have a chance to put this guy away? And he was a nobody. He was a nobody. Who cares who sent him? Just get rid of him.
You know what's really funny too about the interrogation scene is that Volgin is interrogating Snake about what Snake is after, but all
Yeah.
Volgin's doing is he's like reverse
Oh,
interrogating him
telling him.
where he's like, "Are you after the Philosopher's Legacy?" And he's like, "What is the Philosopher's Legacy?" It's like, "Are you after this
He's
secret
telling
or
him
this
everything.
secret? Which secret are you after?"
What secret? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
That's what I was
just
thinking
saying
too. I
all
was
these
like, what?
secrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Volgin is such a weird character. He's a very flat character where he's just an evil villain who likes pain and hurting people, and he like doesn't put any thought into anything. He's like
No.
he doesn't realize that everyone else is a spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't quite understand the whole Cobras.
the
What
Cobra
was
unit.
there? There was Sorrow, there was the electric guy, there was Pain.
Volgin is not a Cobra. Volgin is just like
Okay.
a colonel.
I didn't quite understand all that. Who's the old guy? The old guy, he was Sorrow?
So
Oh,
that
he was the end. There was the end, there
yeah.
was Sorrow, there was Pain.
The old guy is the end. There's the Pain, who's the B guy. The Fear is the guy
Yeah.
that was like hit you with the dart, and then he starts scurrying up the trees. The Sorrow is the dead guy,
Right.
and then the
Yeah.
boss is actually the Joy. She's like the head of the Cobra unit. But yeah, I'll level with you. The Cobra unit doesn't make the most sense to me either because they're just like superhumans for some reason, and then they explode when they die. I don't really get that.
But yet they reappeared in the river.
Yes.
When he jumps off again, Ocelot had a chance to just shoot him. Instead, he just jumps off into the water.
Well, Ocelot is trying to shoot him. Ocelot is pulling the trigger a bunch, but there's one or two bullets in the chamber, and he's got to get to that bullet.
Yeah. And then he jumps off, and then he goes through the river, and he's got to meet all the people that Soda killed. And I said, I don't remember Soda killing that many people. He counted a lot of people. He counted all the people from the Cobra crew.
Yeah, all the Cobras are there. So. They're coming after you. And let me tell you, the thing with the Cobras, they're called the Pain, the Fury, the End, the Sorrow. So people theorize that these are all emotions that people deal with PTSD. Like soldiers will be in battle, and then afterwards they have, they have pain, they have fury, they have sorrow, all of these emotions. So that's one. That's one lens you could kind of look at it, and then another lens you could look at it is Snake himself. He's going to eventually kill the boss, and after killing the boss, these are things that he's going to struggle with, and that's going to lead to him becoming the supervillain that he becomes.
Nice. I tie it all together. Yeah, that's good.
So there's a lot of thought that goes in these games. There's Kojima really tries to get like themes and things to think about, and
I just realized they could have not killed. They could have not killed the boss and kept the boss and just brought her back to America and just give her a new identity and let her live in Wyoming somewhere or Wisconsin or in Florida.
You could, but again, it's a game. There's got to be some something to it.
There's got to be some drama.
Yeah, it's got to be drama.
I liked where all the flowers were white in the field as they were fighting, and then they turned red like poppies from World War II.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some symbolism in there too. I think that might be like Snake's purity before killing the boss, and then him turning into Big Boss after killing her. So yeah, there's a lot to parallel in the game. Yeah, if you look up Metal Gear Solid stuff on YouTube, you'll just get like these video essays where people are like going through, just like they do with movies, where they're like, if you look at this Kubrick movie, look at what he did here, and there's an angle here, and he says this. There's like so much to dissect. Yeah, and the guy Kojima, he's kind of like the video game version of Steven Spielberg or Stanley Kubrick,
Hmm.
where like you hear he's making a game and it's just like, oh my god, we got to play it because it's gonna be uh,
It's gonna be awesome.
really good. Yeah. So that's
Mm.
Kojima. Anyways, so what did you
Hmm.
think overall? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Well, again, like I told you, I enjoyed spending the time with Soda and sharing with him those hours of playing it and experiencing it with him and such. I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I thought that was really
So I
cool.
was really happy. I was really happy with that. And as for the story itself, yeah, when I watch movies as well, I kind of pick them apart and go, come on, why did the person walk into that room? They shouldn't have walked in there. They should have just left.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I question those things. I wanted it to be, that's why I kind of like books, because to me, books are a little bit more, I don't read the mysteries and such. I read more uh, things that are human stories. I
Hmm.
like the human stories of them. But I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. It kept me involved. The time went quick while I watched it,
Yeah.
and interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
Um, would you, I guess if Soda played any of the other games, would you be like, oh yeah, that's
yeah,
exciting. Let me sit down and watch what these are also.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But you don't
I
think
think I
that you
would.
would ever play these. I think the most I've seen you play was like Wheel of Fortune, and even that you're like struggling with.
Well, before we even played that game, let me just tell you, he set it all up, and he started a game called Portal.
Yeah.
But he gave me no introduction. He just said, "This button does this button does that. Go do it." And I'm like, "What the heck am I doing?" I had no clue what I'm doing. I'm supposed to shoot, and I got to go in the red one and come out the yellow one. It's like, all right, whatever. Why am I doing this? So,
Portal's super fun.
so when he so when he played it, he enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, now I see. But again, video games, I have no desire for that.
Yeah, Portal is very fun, and if you're gonna start with any kind of 3D game, um, Portal actually might be a good starting entry place for you. But yeah, I don't see you picking up controllers and like playing games. You just
No,
watch
in fact, I
them.
In fact, I told you I just bought some electronic device that has a remote control that's going to help me with something else, and
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go practice that. It only has a forward and back and left and right and a stop button, but I think I need to practice that coordination to make sure I can do it before I actually take it and use it in
yeah.
its
So
real
that's
purpose.
it's kind of like a video game. It's like an RC thing. You're gonna have a remote control
Yeah,
controller, and you're
yeah,
gonna be moving this around like a car.
yes,
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
exactly. I'll get used to it.
Yeah.
If they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, cool. All right. I
Yep.
think that's all of the questions I have for you. I guess the only other thing I would say is do you have questions? Is there anything that you were like, well, hang on, here's a loose thread that's got me thinking, or um, anything like that? Or do you have any
No,
final thoughts?
I covered everything. I guess my question to you is: you're saying that this thing came out in 2005 at the beginning of the century.
2004.
Is it 2004? Is it still popular? People are still playing. I guess it's an old game now. It's people still play it. They're interested in it.
It
They still go
is
on chats and watch it.
it is popular enough that they remade it last year. So
Wow.
the thing with Metal Gear Solid is it started in like I want to say the 80s on like
Right.
an Atari like console.
Ooh.
And then when like the first PlayStation came out, they released a
Yeah.
game called Metal Gear Solid, where they kind of stopped doing numbers and they kind of rebooted it. So
Right.
Metal Gear Solid was on PlayStation. It came out in like 97, 98 ish.
Right.
And then they kept releasing on PlayStation consoles. So the game that you saw was on PlayStation 2, 2004. So
Right.
that would have been like a GameCube original Xbox time.
Hmm.
But again, it was so good that the franchise carried on until 2015, I want to say. That's when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. And then
Right.
Kojima actually got fired from his job, so he no longer works at Konami, and he's
Okay.
making different games instead of Metal Gear. But everyone is still thirsty and hungry for Metal Gear. They still talk about it. They still play it. It's definitely stood the test of time. It's one of my favorite franchises because I think the story is so good and very, very
Yep.
interesting.
Well, I think on the back end, Kojima wasn't just like this lone single person sitting on a computer developing all this. I would think there was a team,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
that's what I also said to Soda, is that I felt that some of the things, I have some experience with the Japanese, and I just felt that that was a very Japanese thing to do, the way they did certain things. And I felt that I could see a team of, I don't know, 20 people or more that have their own little responsibilities that they're working on, and they always keep coming together to collaborate. And there's decisions: do we do it this way? Do we do it that way? And things like that.
Yeah,
And maybe Kojima was the leader of it. Obviously, he was the project leader or the main developer. But I could see why they did certain things. I was like, oh, that's so Japanese.
yeah. I mean, the whole game is very. If you know what anime is, it's very Japanese anime. Anime
Yes.
is like Japanese cartoons, like Pokemon or Dragon
Sure.
Ball
Yep.
Z,
I know what it is. Yep.
where just
Yeah.
like all of these really far out things happen, and it's like you're trying to tell a serious story about like
Yeah.
espionage in the Cold War, and now you have like these superhero guys, and it gets a little crazy. It's very
Yep.
anime,
Yep.
but yeah,
I did
that's
like too that when Soda would either, I think, maybe kill them or knock them out, he had to go there and pick up their legs and shake them to get out whatever they're carrying, so that he
yeah.
could
You got to take
replenish. That was
their
that was pretty funny.
yeah. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
you get like
So
the items out of them or dog tags and whatnot.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And
I
yeah,
enjoyed it.
um, you're right. There was a whole team obviously behind this, but Kojima's like the director. He's at the helm of it, steering it.
Sure.
They actually took the team to like some jungle with some experts so that they could kind of understand like more about the jungle, close quarters combat, those kind of things, so that they could implement it better in the game.
That makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, they did
That
a
makes
bunch
sense.
of stuff. Like Kojima, he wanted the fight with the sniper. He wanted the sniper
Yeah.
fight to last like 2 real weeks, where you would have to come back to the game and continue the fight with the sniper, and that would have lasted
Yeah.
super super long time. And they were like, "You're out of your mind. That's
No.
horrible." Yeah, so they would
Right.
steer him
Right.
too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That makes sense.
so you like it, and you would recommend it to people to play, to watch.
I think that people that play video games, if they haven't played it, I would definitely recommend it. I
Cool.
thought it was good. Yeah.
All right.
It was
Cool.
very well developed and good story and such. Little quirky things that I always question, but then that's just my nature.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
Yep.
glad you liked it, and it's pretty cool that you checked something like this out. Again, you don't really play games, so
Nope.
um,
Nope.
didn't realize that you would like it. So
Yep.
very cool.
Yep. And thanks for doing this.
Yep.
Thanks for asking me for my thoughts.
Yep. Thanks for joining. I think we'll call it here. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Talk to you.
Thanks.
Yep. Be well.
And if you would like to ask my dad anything about the game or anything in general within reason, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will ask them to him, and I will respond to your comments with his answer. If there's anything I got wrong or he got wrong, please correct us also in the comments. Thanks for watching. Adios.